housemates had their diary session today, and I found some of their sessions quite interesting, courtesy of Biggie's thought-provoking questions and how some of the housemates were able to intelligently tackle those questions, with their responses to Big Brother, i.e. Mpumi. There was Mitch. Who else? There was Mitch. There was Lerato. I think we can also mention Mcjunior. Yes, Mcjunior was that one housemate that Biggie threw a bomb-ass question at, and this young man completely missed what Big Brother was actually asking him, So yeah, today's diary session was quite interesting, and as usual, it started yesterday. We know that Tuesdays and Wednesdays in Big Brother's house is usually for diary sessions. So for yesterday's one, I did not do a video about it. My sincere apologies to all of you. Yesterday was actually my birthday. Yes, yesterday was my birthday, and I just needed to take time away. Yeah, I mean, for the past 5 years now, every time it's my birthday, I'm not doing anything. I'm literally working, or it falls into a Big Brother season. So I'm either busy doing videos, or guys, I'm just busy. So yesterday I decided to be in a zen mode. I just wanted to pamper myself, and that was exactly what I did. So apologies to all of you for not mentioning that 27th of February is my birthday. I think I actually mentioned it on Valentine's Day. I think I did, when I informed you all that February is usually my month. Yes, but yeah, I know that normally I would have put out a post on my community tab, or maybe on Instagram, to announce that, hey, Glory is turning a year older today. But I just decided not to do any of that. I just wanted peace and quiet, and that was exactly what I got yesterday. That's by the ways. On this video, as I've said, we're going to talk about those diary sessions, that are worth remembering. All right, so please make sure you watch to the end of this video. Do not skip out on any part, and of course, please go ahead, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And yeah, if you're yet to subscribe, please do not forget to do exactly what you see on your screen. Now quickly, let's proceed with the details of this video. Beginning with Mitch, he had spoken about the bias amongst the housemates towards Yolanda with regards to her loudness, the noise that comes with who Yolanda is. Now, as at the time Biggie had presented a brief to the housemates on Monday, giving them instructions about the theme of the week and how they are to start living outside the house, going back to the basics and all whatnot. One of the instructions had been that the housemates should keep their noise level at a minimum, like they should totally reduce their noise. That one of the life skills of living in the wild is not making noise, otherwise the wild animals will come for you. Anyways, it's just part of the whole theme of the week. Now, that instruction, ladies and gentlemen, was not only directed to Yolanda alone. It was literally directed to all the housemates, to just reduce their noise, probably because of neighboring houses, around the vicinity of Biggie's mansion. So that had been the instruction, and Yolanda had been trying, she's been really struggling, to be quiet, to reduce her noise level. It's been a struggle for her, but she's been trying to do that. Now, according to Mitch, these people keep complaining. Every time Yolanda opens her mouth, they complain. It's time for them to sleep at night. These housemates make a lot of noise. Ladies and gentlemen, they make a lot of noise. And for him, it feels like that is very inconsiderate, because Willie is always shutting up Yolanda. But when it comes to the night when they are all supposed to sleep and every other person is making noise, it turns a blind eye to it. It does not, he does not shut down anybody. And so for him, he was so upset yesterday when that happened. He was going to make a fuss about it, but Yolanda had told him to, just ignore it. Yes. So according to him, it feels like there is a group in the house, and Jareed is the leader of that group. Hence the reason Willie had saved Jareed with his veto power. Yes, that it's not because they are close or anything, that Willie is actually really closer to Papi and Z. Z is more like the leader of their gang. She's like the puppet master, leading, whilst Willie and Papi, follow her all around the house, but he was quite shocked at Willie's choice, in his veto power save. So he felt like, okay, that was actually a smart play, but it was actually a stupid decision. And guys, I just could not help but I agree. Els was another housemate that had a very interesting diary session. She had taken out time to explain her strategy to Big Brother, which is one of the questions that Biggie had actually posed to the housemates during their diary session. You know, he had asked them about their strategy and which housemate they felt was playing the best game. Now, I did not mention for Mitch's own response to that question. Mitch had actually responded that he felt like he and Yolanda were playing the best game in the house because they are the realest in the house. They are themselves. They don't have any need to change who they truly are, you know, because that is who they are. Whilst the rest of the other housemates, they are sort of pretending, you know, they're just pretending to fit into a character that they are not. Now, for Els, our initial strategy of coming into the house was to break all the ships in the house. So she had started with Liema and Jareed, but then she realized that there wasn't really a lot to do, because those two are always quarreling every week. And then she tried Papa Ghost and Lerato, but then she sensed that what they had was quite solid. It was quite real, you know, so there wasn't really a lot that she could do. So at the moment, she's kind of tired, you know, but when she's bored, she tries getting into the whole Liema and Jareed's situation. And guys, I was just laughing because I wasn't quite surprised. I mean, we actually clocked Elsie's game right from the very first week. We clocked it all. We knew that she had such an agenda, you know, with regards to all the ships in the house, you know. But what really struck me while she was explaining her game to Big Brother was the fact that this girl is really self-aware. She really knows why she came into the house, you know, because there was also the question that Big Brother was asking all the housemates, you know, if they were all nominating strategically or emotionally. Yes. And when it comes to strategic nominations, I've always said it, that Els is that one housemate that is very good, you know, at nominating strategically. So I really liked her diary session because it also gave more clarity as to why she was doing the things that she was doing in the house. Now, another housemate's diary session that I really enjoyed was Mpumi's diary session. Ladies and gentlemen, Mpumi proved today that she's not just playing co-wife, you know, to Liema in Jareed's game. She proved that she's very observant, very, very observant, and very, very smart. Because guys, the way she'd actually explained Liema's game and Yolanda's game, oh my God. Liema's fans were literally crying on the timeline. But the truth had to be said.
The reason why I'm saying Big Brother, I nominate him strategically is because I've come to realize, okay, Shapu, this one acts like this, and if you're acting like this with regards to the rules that we have in the rule book, should you continue doing this and this and this? Let's say you don't get to me, but then you can get to another person, and another person reacts in a different manner. They might just go home because of who you underline.
There was also the question about if housemates were nominating strategically or emotionally. And Mpumi had actually explained, you know, her nomination choice. Now, the way she put it, she realized from Monday's nominations that Liema does not nominate strategically. That Liema is very emotional about her nominations, you know, that because she had nominated Liema and given her reasons, Liema decided to play tit for tat. That even over time, you know, she had taken the time to study this girl, even when they have conversations with Jareed, you know, and Liema will say certain things and do certain things. And she'll watch this girl, you know, she's been coming up with certain perceptions about this girl in her head. But then, looking at the girl's nomination choice and even the reasons that Liema gave, it showed that all what she had actually been thinking about this girl, you know, her perception about this girl all along has been right. You know, that Liema is a deep thinker. She's smart, but she's a deep thinker. But then the problem about the way she thinks is it is what she thinks that she acts upon. You know, she does not take her time to observe people, check out people's body language, look at how people move in the house. You know, for her, it is whatever she thinks at the top of her head that she just jumps into doing, you know, and she feels like that is not strategic enough. And ladies and gentlemen, the way Mpumi explained it, I just could not help but agree. Even Big Brother gave her, you know, some accolades, you know, for being very, very observant and perceptive about what was going on around her. But then, when she spoke about Yolanda, she just could not help but, you know, throw massive, massive accolades to Yolanda. You know, the same things she had actually said when she was nominating Yolanda were the same things that she said today during the diary session.
As for Yolanda, Yolanda, a lovely, lovely, lovely person. Lovely, lovely, lovely girl. Though I sometimes feel like saying, yeah, Yolanda. Like, I sometimes feel like saying that to her, but like, she's a very, very lovely girl, the very bright personality, like very bright.
That she loves Yolanda's game. That Yolanda is that one housemate that has stayed true to herself right from the very first day. Yolanda remains Yolanda in person, in personality, in character. Yolanda has not changed, and it doesn't look like she's going to change anytime soon. That is probably who she really is in the real world, or it could be that she's actually acting. But however way it swings, Yolanda remains true to herself, hence the reason she really loves Yolanda's game. I mean, guys, whilst Mpumi was speaking, I was just giving this girl accolades because everything she said was nothing but the truth. But then, just as expected, Liema's fans, they were literally dragging this girl on social media. They had a lot of nasty things to say about this girl. They were even saying things like, oh, it's because she wants Liema out of the house so that she will have Jareed all to herself. And I'm like, really? So with everything that Mpumi has been doing from the very first day of this season, like, does it really look like this girl really cares about Jareed like that? Like, seriously. Seriously. But anyways, guys, I would love to know what you think about that in the comment section below. Now, quickly moving on to Mcjunior's diary session.
It's not a matter of strategy. It's nothing. It's just me being straight up. I'm not the type of dude to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not straight up. Like, dude, you're the one. You're it, and you know it. Next week, he knows it. The week after that, if it's still here, he knows it.
So Biggie had thrown the same questions to Mcjunior about if housemates are nominating strategically or emotionally, and also about the housemates that he feels are playing the best game in the house. There was also the question about his own strategy. Now, fast forward to his response to that. He said that the plan for him all along has been not to have any strategies at all. And then he had even moved on to talk about nominating Papa Ghost and Lerato. That for him, as far as he's concerned, he's going to continue nominating these people. He doesn't like them. You know, the same thing he said on Monday during the face-to-face nominations. So this guy kept on going on and on and on and on about how, you know, he doesn't like Papa Ghost and Lerato. He knows that they don't like him too. So he's going to continue nominating them. Da, 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 da. And then Biggie had to ask him that, okay, in the absence of Papa Ghost, in the absence of these people, what is your strategy? And you could tell that Mcjunior could not properly answer that question. At some point, it felt like this guy was going to goof, like he was going to stutter or something. But then he had to quickly, you know, redeem himself by saying that, oh, well, that the thing is, as far as he feels like that is the right thing to do, he's going to continue nominating Papa Ghost and Lerato, you know, because the thing about the house is this week you can like someone, next week you might not like the person, you know, things change all the time. But as far as they are there, he's going to continue nominating them. It was just going on and on about his usual reasons. He doesn't like them. He doesn't like them. And so, guys, whilst Mcjunior was giving all of that explanation, I had to ask myself that question as well, because it made me pause and think about it as well. That, okay, as a viewer, what do I see? You know, like, what game do I see Mcjunior playing? Now, I see him trying to play the role of the good guy, you know, the good cop that takes down the bad cop. But then in a way, it's making him look like the bad cop, you know, that's trying to take down the bad cops of the house as well. Because, guys, if you think about it, right, originally, Papa Ghost did nothing, like absolutely nothing to Mcjunior. Mcjunior, if we're being honest with ourselves now, Mcjunior just decided that these two people are very controlling, they are very assertive, they are very opinionated, and so if somebody does not stand up to them, they are going to control the house. And so he decided to be the person that stands up to them, which is fine, which is okay. But personally, as a viewer, what I am seeing now is that Mcjunior has become so consumed by his dislike for these two people. He's become so consumed by this toxicity and pettiness, you know, to get rid of them from the house, that he is now blinded by everything else that's happening in the house around him. There are other people in that house that are playing games. there are other people in the house that have the potential to kick him out of the game if cares is not taken. But because he is so focused and hell-bent on eliminating both Papa Ghost and Lerato from the house, he's completely blinded to what's happening around him. I mean, guys, I really admire his resilience. You know, I really admire how hard and competitive he goes in the game, you know, to win the head of house challenge so that he has veto power and he's got immunity as well. I really admire that about him. But I just feel like he's so focused on two people, he's completely lost sight of possible threats around him. And guys, there's also the other side of this whole conversation, right? I have always been a strong believer of taking out the strongest opponents in the game and then focusing on the weaklings, right? I've always been a strong believer of if you're able to take away the strong opponents from the game, in the finals, you know, you could be with the weaker links in the house, in the finals, and that increases your chances, you know, of emerging the winner of the season. But there's a dynamics to the game, ladies and gentlemen. There's a dynamics to how people vote. There's a dynamics to how people choose their winner. Most of the viewing public, right? Most of them are not voting public, like they're not voting audience. Most of the people that vote, they vote sentimentally. They vote for pretty faces. They vote for beautiful bodies. They vote for lovers and all whatnot. So sometimes, no matter how well a housemate plays a game, sometimes they end up not winning. Sometimes, not in all cases, but sometimes, you know. And this season, there are a lot of strong players, you know. So personally, I just feel like Mcjunior is not really spreading his antennas around the house, you know, to scope out other possible threats around him. I feel like he's just so bent and focused on Papa Ghost and Lerato that it might be at the detriment of his game. Hence the reason I felt like we gotta ask him that question, because the guy was just going on and on and on and on about his dislike for these two people. But then Big Brother asking him that question, in my opinion, was to give him something to think about, you know, to make him realize that, dude, you need to start looking deeper than these two people, because there are other people that are threats around you. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to hear your thoughts about this, so please go ahead and share the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another video soon. Have an amazing evening. Bye.